You guys want to throw something on the board here?
I have no idea what this all is about. So.
If you read it, you'll get a great idea.
John 3:16. For judgment I came into this world. No, I'm joking.
What does he mean?
And those who see may become blind. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of big words in this. The way the Bible is written, it's like so hard to understand.
Yeah.
It's like they need to translate. I know it's in English. They need to translate it from that English to my generation can understand it.
They have. There's a whole bunch of them. Yeah.
Oh, really? And
Yeah, NIV, NLT, Message. They have a Gen Z version too.
Wow, that's crazy.
What group are you guys with?
No group. We're part of Cal State.
I know. Okay, I thought because like the other week when the gay pride people were there, I know you like ran by and said some stuff. I didn't know if you guys were part of a group.
Trying to fix my generation. That's the group I'm with.
Trying to fix your generation.
Yeah. So.
Oh, we thought we were part.
No, we're not part of any group.
Okay.
Not even in
What's the best way do you think fix the generation? Do you think?
Get rid of all that. See that what's going on over there?
How will that fix it?
All the degeneracy is going on. You know.
How do you fix that?
Oh, you are not ready for that answer.
What is the answer?
Well, you got to see who's causing all this degeneracy in our generation. Like
what's the source of it? Do you think? What's the ultimate source? Like
the ultimate source?
Yeah.
There's a top level of Jews running that.
So you're saying that it's just humans that are the problem?
Specific kind of satanic humans, absolutely.
Satanic humans. So you're saying like there's a certain group of humans that are satanic?
Yeah, wouldn't you agree?
In what sense would you mean satanic?
Like they have an agenda that goes against God's will.
So are they subservient to Satan and Satan has that agenda and they're passing on? Or are they the originators of that agenda and being pushed along by Satan?
That I don't know because I'm on the good side.
So how do you, because Satan is a biblical concept. So you must have some, I'm going to guess like contact with that kind of information. So I'm kind of wondering what persuades you of
No,
like...
I don't want anywhere near my life. I don't have contact to that. It's just,
No, I mean, I'm talking about information. Like I'm saying, if someone says something is satanic, my understanding of what they mean by that,
for example,
they're talking about the biblical Satan, right? Like that's what my answer my question is you're talking about the biblical Satan, right?
I don't know. I've never read the Bible.
So then how would you know something is satanic? Why? That's why I'm asking you is where are you getting the information that something's
just because
satanic?
it's mentioned in the Bible, I have to read it just to know if I can use
No, I mean, what does the word satanic mean? Where do you get
It goes against God's will, like I said. Like, for example,
Which God?
LGBT, right?
Which God?
That goes against God's will.
Which God?
What do you mean, which God?
I don't know which God you believe in. I don't know. I'm trying to find out about you.
You're asking about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
I'm not believing in any specific God. For me, I believe in God, but I don't.
Which God?
Wait, one sec. For me, I believe in God, but I don't know what name it is right yet. Because like every religion has their own God, right?
So how do you know that what they're doing is against your God's will? Is my question.
Because first of all, it's not natural at all.
So you don't have any reasons to believe that it's against your God's will because you don't know what your God's about?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to understand. You're making claims and saying this is wrong, this is bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out more about you to understand why you think so.
So do you think it's good to cut off your dick and try to act like you have a pussy?
Here's my question again to you. So, because you're making all the claims, right? You're saying this is bad, this is against God's will, and I'm just trying to find out more about you. Clearly, I have a sign up about Jesus. I'm talking about the Jesus from the Bible. That's why I have a Bible verse. So you're saying what they're doing is satanic, and I'm very interested in what you mean. When you say satanic and you say against God's will, I'm trying to understand where you're getting that information from. Where do you say, where does your God disclose what his will is?
I have to have a place to get information from.
If you make a claim that says that what this is against God's will, I'd like to know what the receipts are.
You're the type of person that won't believe anything unless there's evidence, right?
I mean,
I can't talk to you like that.
I think you could. Why is that? Why couldn't you talk to us?
That's not the way you do that. First of all, I don't have solid evidence for everything in life. No one does. I'm born here.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying
the fact that I'm breathing, the fact that we all exist, there has to be a higher power.
I'm giving you a chance to tell us what you think.
I don't need a book to tell me there's God.
Sure. But I'm asking you when you say that this is against God's will. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. What do you mean? How do you know that that's God's will? I'm not asking you to debate you.
Because it's the naturally. You know, if you're a girl and you're into guys, if you're a guy, you're into girls, and you don't change your gender, and you don't.
I can actually push against that naturally speaking. Naturally speaking, in nature, with most animals that are socially speaking, they actually are a lot of gay and there's a lot of
gay animals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bonobos are a huge example of that. One of our closest living relatives, it's gay sex is actually more common amongst the primates than straight sex. To say that's unnatural is I think,
which animal
uninformed.
is that, and how do they continue their generation if they're
bonobos,
gay?
chimpanzees. How do they continue by having? They don't. It's not exclusively gay. You see, it's not only that. It's also it's not sex isn't just used for procreation within the social environment. The reason why they have it is not only just to procreate. It's also to form relationships. It's also to mediate conflict. To say it's unnatural, I think, is uninformed. Just personally speaking, it's not even just, and not to mention those are our closest living
Can I
relatives.
ask, do you fall in that LGBT people?
What?
Do you fall in the LGBT people? Like, are you identify as one of them?
Hey, John.
Because
No.
it sounds like you're about to ask me out. Is that what's gonna? Because I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I got a
I think
girlfriend.
I'm too short for you. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I think I'm too short and dark for you. I'm sorry.
You too what?
Yeah, we wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look like a good couple.
You don't know that. You don't know that. Well, now I'm offended.
Yeah, but
Now I'm
girlfriend,
offended
are
that
you
you're not
sure?
asking me out. Now you should ask me out. Now I'm not good enough for you. What the hell's going on?
Don't worry, I love you, bro.
My ego is hurt, man.
But last week, for example, like last week when you walked by, you said you all need Jesus. You're talking about the Jesus of the Bible,
They
right?
all need Jesus.
Are you talking about the Jesus of the
They all
Bible?
need God too.
But you believe when you said y'all need Jesus, you meant the Jesus of the Bible, or did you mean a Jesus, a different Jesus?
Oh, absolutely, I believe Jesus exists. Absolutely, I believe the Bible exists.
Okay, so when you said that they need Jesus, you're talking about the Jesus of the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm trying to find out is what do you mean when you say that
Because
something?
the Bible is like a recollection of how Jesus existed.
Yeah, the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John accounts have that. I'm honestly just trying to understand where you're coming from. So that's why I'm asking you the questions. I'm giving you a full platform to tell me when you say something like this is against God's will, and I say, well, what God are you talking about? I'm not debating you. I'm trying to find out what do you mean. I'm trying to understand where you come from.
God.
It's important. It's important
Yeah.
distinction too.
Yeah, and like, but yeah. So where do you get information about your?
20, right?
Sure. Where do you get information about your God? This is my question.
Oh,
How do you know about what
Okay.
your God wants and what He doesn't want?
no. Okay, this is how I get information about my
Cool,
God.
cool. Okay.
Right? Is that life is so beautiful and that we're all here.
Okay.
And God exists for some
Okay.
reason. Right?
So you're saying from this around here? Okay. Yeah. That's an answer to my question. That's what I'm trying to find out about you.
When you pray to God, do you have to say the name of the God, or can you just pray to God? You know.
I think when we pray, I mean, if we're in a relationship with a God, I think it's fair that to call that God by what the God is. If that God's revealed, let's put it this way, I don't know what your name is. What's your name?
I'm Samir.
Samir?
Yeah.
So Samir, if God reveals Himself to us in a distinct and specific way, I think it's only fair, just relationally. Like I wouldn't want to call you another name than others. Samir, you just told me your name, so I'm going to try to call you your name. And if I get it wrong, let me know. But Samir is your name.
That's right.
I just think it's just basic courtesy to call you by your name,
Yeah.
if that's what your name is. If you revealed that to me. If you didn't, I just call you that guy that I talked to earlier that was making jokes about short people. And I'd be like, all right, that was the guy. But now I know your name is Samir. So if God reveals who He is in Jesus, then I would say, yeah, I think it makes sense to, when you're talking to God, I think it's just a basic courtesy of talking to God based upon what He's revealed about Himself, for sure. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way you look at it. And I think Jesus is real.
Okay. Like a physical, historical figure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many recounts, more than anything else, that shows Jesus is real.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
It sounds like you're persuaded by the evidence of those things to say that that's true.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not fully believing that unless you are a Christian, like you'll go to hell.
Okay.
I don't believe that. I think if you believe in God and
Okay.
you do good things in life, you know, I don't think God cares what you call Him. You know, because I could act like a Christian, I could do everything a Christian does, but say I'm not a Christian, right?
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well, a Christian
Because-
believes that Jesus is who Jesus claimed to be, so I would say you probably couldn't do that.
No, I mean like Christian values.
Okay, like what are some Christian values you think? Like,
Christian values is like more conservative, more family oriented.
could you love your enemies and forgive your enemies and bless your enemies?
That's what it says.
So you do that?
What do you mean?
When you see somebody that's your enemy or your opponent, your desire for them, because you're a Christian,
Yeah.
you're saying you're motivated by Christian values. Your desire for them is to bless them, to help them,
Me
not to.
personally?
Yeah.
That's what you should do, right?
That's what Jesus-
but me
you're saying that's a
personally,
Christian value.
Absolutely not.
So you don't practice Christian values then. So
No.
there's a
No,
Christian value you
there's
can't
some
do.
things I do. Listen, every situation is case by case, right? But me personally, like if there's someone like that's enemy, no, I don't.
Is it a Christian value to call people names?
Probably not.
Okay. Is it a Christian value to bless your enemies?
To what?
Is it a Christian value to bless your enemies? To see those who are in opposition to you, but try to bless them and serve them and even forgive them and do good to them even if they hurt you. Is that a Christian value for you?
Yeah, that's a Christian
Okay.
value.
So you're saying I could do all the Christian values, but maybe I don't believe this stuff. But I'm saying, would you be willing to accept that as a Christian value? Saying yes. So are you willing to go with that value, like all the way? to go bless your enemies and serve them?
I mean, what you're saying is kind of weird because there's so many things the Bible tells us to do that zero people follow. Exactly. So, you know what I mean? We're all sinners, right? According to the Bible, right?
According to the Bible, everybody has sinned. Against who?
So, against God.
Against God. So what should we do about that?
Believe in Christianity so you become...
Not believe in Christianity. Christianity can't save you.
What saves you?
Jesus alone.
Okay, that's kind of redundant, no?
No, Christianity, believing in some ideas, as intellectually assenting to. And now, here's what I think. I think, Samir, I bet you that I know some of your political background. Do you believe there are people who identify as Republicans that really aren't?
Probably.
Yeah, like Republicans in name only, right? Rhinos, right? So you say, oh, like, I'm Republican. And then you cross-examine them a bit, and you're like, nah, you don't vote that way, you don't talk that way, you don't act that way. You're just kind of stealing the name. So just because they intellectually assent to and agree with the idea of it doesn't mean that they actually believe in it at all. So I'm just trying to tell you that, yeah, there's a lot of people that say that they're Christians, but the way you can actually tell if they are is how do they live their lives. And just because other people agree that Jesus existed or agree that he was good, it doesn't necessarily mean they really trust him and believe him or obey him. You know what I mean? And I think we would agree that that's across the lines of whatever you want to say you're a part of, right? There's people that say that they like it or agree with it, but they don't really care that much of it. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, no, Christianity can't save you because Christianity is just an assent to a couple of things that you believe. But if you're not in a relationship with Jesus, if you don't know Jesus, there's really no point to being a Christian if that's all it's set up to do. If you just agree with the ideas surrounding it, you have the decorations but not the cake. So what are you doing?
So how long do I have to believe in Jesus before I die?
How long? What do you mean? Like, well, Jesus saves you
Like,
from
could it be a
sin.
second before I die, I can say I believe in Jesus?
Well, do you really? Yes. Do you really trust in Jesus is the question. When can you do that? You can choose to trust in Jesus as long as you got breath in your lungs. Here's what my concern is. Over time, like you're probably not the same person that you were when you came here, right? It's probably been, I don't know what your year is, but...
I was born in 04.
Okay, you're born in 04.
Yeah.
So you're here, how long then now? What's your...
Oh, Cal State?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I think it came to this world.
Okay, so you've been here for 3 years, but when you came in as a freshman, I'm imagining that you probably have changed a lot.
Of course.
Your will has changed a lot, your personality's changed, like what you want to study maybe has changed a bit.
Okay.
So you change, right? There's things that I might ask the freshman you to do that you probably wouldn't do now, because you're like, I lost care for that. Like, I don't even have the will to do it. At the end of your life, if you neglected and rejected everything God's given to you in creation, like you agree that you have about who he is, and you reject it, I don't think later at the end of your life your will is going to be to truly trust him. I think you've already kind of made that decision over and over. You kind of train that muscle of your body to go, nah, this ain't for me. So I wouldn't say it's impossible. I'm just saying I don't want to ignore the reality that somebody who says that they're going to trust in Jesus I don't know if they'll have the will to do that. I don't know what you're going to be in, and I don't want to wait till then.
Right now, I'm at a point where it's just like,
Yeah.
it's totally believing God.
Okay.
I don't know which religion's right.
Sure.
Definitely not Muslims, they're not right.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? It's like, I totally believe in God, but don't know what exact name is. But I don't think it's important either. I think just spirituality is important.
Okay,
You know?
I understand where you're coming from. I got my degree in religious studies from the school. So I studied other religions.
Yeah.
I studied other religious texts. That was my job. Both her and I got our degrees here in religious studies. So basically we had to read other religious texts. So I understand what the impulse is to say there's a valid thing in spirituality. I agree with that. I'm not going to diss that. But the thing is, if we don't operate based upon, like, you'd probably disagree with people that say, hey, look, I disagree with you, LGBT, I think this is all right, this is all fine. And you go, look, don't you see how the world works around you? You would say, look, the world around you doesn't work that way, like you were just saying earlier. Well, you're saying, well, what can be known about it? What can be known about what God wants? We should conform to that. We shouldn't do what you're doing. That's not conforming to that. And I'm just going to say, yes, I agree with you. If God has made himself known in Jesus, and the revelation of God has been made in Jesus, I would say then you should conform to what can be known, all about God, and that would mean, yeah, Islam would not be correct upon the basis that what Jesus says is very different than Islam. So I'm just saying, yeah, continue to walk on the path of what God's revealed about himself, and you'll do well. So spirituality generally is amorphous and undefined. It can't really help you, therefore. It's general. It's too general to be specific. But specific revelation of God, who he reveals himself to be, that can actually help you become a specific kind of person. If you're designed to be that way, the way that God made you, the way Jesus made you.
What happened to everyone before Jesus came? What happened to all that?
Well, according to the Bible, people who had faith in Yahweh, which is the name of God in the Old Testament, whether you read the New or Old Testament, whatever God has revealed about himself to each person, he's going to hold them to an account. And so that doesn't matter. So either way, you're going to go old or you're going to go new. Whether you're going to go with Abraham in the first couple books of Genesis, or you're going to go all the way to Revelation, God's going to hold you and me to an account of what we can know. Not of what we didn't know, but what can we know. And so that's always going to be what we do. But always trust in God, faith in God. as he has revealed himself. So I'm telling you, God has revealed himself in Jesus.
That doesn't make any sense because all
Okay.
these people that walk by you keeping their heads down, God hasn't revealed themselves to them because you haven't talked to them.
No, I don't think so. I think that actually something you said earlier I agree with about God revealing himself in creation, the way that the world is. That's already a lot of revelation to work with. You can come to conclusions based upon that. I would agree with you. There's conclusions about what God is not like based upon that too. And I think if you continue to follow that strand where it leads, I think it would naturally lead you to the Christian God, for sure. Not a problem. Because at the end of the day, like, they all have access to the same information. Like, we all have free access right now to the Gospels, what Jesus taught, what Jesus said. There's a whiteboard here with what Jesus says on it. For judgment I came into this world, that those who do not see may see, those who see may become blind. There's a whole bunch of information that we can know. And most people I talk to even walk by later, they come back, they've heard about Jesus, they talked about Jesus. You're going to be held to what was communicated to you by God, whether or not you rejected it or not. 100%, I think. And you're in America, so you have a lot of information to sift through.
So what do you think happens to people that never heard about Jesus?
Yeah, again, same thing that you asked me in the Old Testament, I'd give you the same answer. Whatever information they have, God's going to judge them according to that information. Absolutely. And what can be known about God is clear in creation. There's a lot, like, I agree with you. You can come to conclusions about how the world is and infer from that what kind of creator there is. I think you can make some solid assumptions there. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Samir, are you willing to, like, look into this at all?
No, I'm not willing to look into this. But
Even if I gave you as a gift, just to say thank you for our conversation, if I gave you as a gift a gospel mark that has room for you to write on it, on the right?
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. No, I won't say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
But it was great
you're
talking-
not upsetting me.
You,
No.
you enlightened me, right? I get to know your perspective more.
Sure.
Let me just ask you one more thing.
Please,
Joe.
whatever you like.
So you're saying if I don't believe in the Christian God, Jesus,
Yeah.
then I'm definitely not going to heaven. Like,
Jesus said,
that's your perspective.
Here's what Jesus said. I can't give you my perspective. My perspective is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Jesus said, whoever does not believe that I am he will die in his sins. Meaning the sins that you've committed against God, which you agree that you've done, there's no forgiveness for those because you've chosen to take
What
upon
happens to
yourself.
Jewish people?
Which Jewish people?
Like, if you're a Jew, right?
Yeah.
You don't believe in Jesus.
There's a lot of Jews that did. That's how we have the New Testament. We got Matthew, Mark, Luke, John from Jews. We
They
got
killed Jesus, actually, the Jews.
Yes,
killed
but Jesus, what did Jesus say on the cross? He said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And many of those Jews became followers of Jesus, according to Acts chapter 1, 2, and 3. So Christianity is not a non-Jewish religion. It is started by Jews to worship a Jew named Jesus. Jesus is a Jew. I am now worshiping, as a non-Jewish person, a Jewish person.
What about Catholics?
What about them? I would say the same thing. If you put your faith in Jesus...
Any religion that believes in Jesus, you're saying, doesn't have to be a certain...
When we say believe, again, there's a difference between Samir, me just knowing about Samir and saying, I know Samir exists. The relationship I have with you, there's certain benefits that I assume that I would have in being in a relationship with you and knowing who you are as a friend. Okay? I'm going to say you probably have some feelings, thoughts that I don't have, and I could get some information from you I don't have. Being in a relationship with Jesus gets us the benefits of knowing who he is, and that's what's salvific. It's about knowing personal relationships. It's not about knowing about. Just because someone agrees. Look, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, they all talk about Jesus. Every single one. But that doesn't mean that they trust him. Just any more than you having the profile of a person here on IG means that you know that person. You know, they know about that person. They can infer things about them. But it doesn't mean you know them. You don't have the benefits of knowing them. So I think anybody who trusts Jesus, yeah, they're good.
What denomination of Christian are you?
I'm a Quaker.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, okay. I say don't listen to me then, because I'm going to give you a biased view, right?
Yeah.
I say do your history and do your research on what Quakers believe, but ultimately, I don't think that Quakers are like it, like we've arrived or something, and that Catholics haven't, or that other Protestant groups don't. Quakers actually see themselves as part of a larger body, of which there are many parts. So I would say to my friend Samir, hopefully we're becoming friends,
Do you
that
guys believe in the Trinity?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. God has revealed himself, both Father, Son, and Spirit, so we'd have to look at the data in the New Testament to come up with a reasonable explanation for that. And I think the Trinity makes a lot of sense there.
You
Yeah.
guys don't believe in the sacraments or the Eucharist?
Sacraments? Well, I think it would mean, again, what does it mean to believe in that? Like how we were talking about maybe believing in Jesus to Samir and I, maybe that might look different. I believe that there is a Eucharist. I don't think that's what you're asking me. I think what we believe about the Eucharist is probably what you're talking about. What do I think happens with the Lord's Supper? I think that's kind of more what you're asking me. I do believe in the Lord's Supper. I believe that that's a good thing that Christians should do. I have different reasons as to why I believe that. They may not be very Catholic, maybe. I'm assuming you might be Catholic. Okay, am I? Okay. So I wouldn't say that you would probably find my theology about the Eucharist very compelling because I'm not Catholic. But I don't think that we should dismiss it altogether. I think we could have a good conversation about what it means to you, and I'd love to hear.
So, are you pro-Israel?
What does that mean?
Do you believe that Israel should be able to, push everyone out and have their own country.
Okay, I hear what you're asking. So I'm a Quaker, and so here's where we denominationally sit on stuff. We believe that Jesus didn't wage war, didn't create war, doesn't use violence to persuade people. And so when Quakers enter, and you can look at this historically, I'm not going to tell you, here's a nice idea. But about the Quaker diplomacy that Quakers have been doing for 200 or 300 years in America particularly, we try to be very neutral about certain aggressions, because what we want to do is we want to create peace. We find that picking sides never leads to peace. It never leads to ultimate peace. If let's say I was pro-Israel, or if I was pro-Palestinian, by signing off on either side and for the eradication of the other side at some level, it will never create lasting peace. And I'm for peace. I'm for the peace of all people. For the peace of the Gazans, I'm for the peace of the Palestinians, I'm for the peace of the Israelis. I'm for that. I want that. But I know that peace cannot come through war. No peace can come through war.
So, let's say you're faced with a certain evil, what are you going to do?
What particularly are we talking about?
Because right now we're seeing a lot of evil happen in that certain area.
Yeah.
What do you think, we as people should do? Should we, choose a side? Or, you said don't choose a side, but then you're just letting things happen.
Sure, I hear what you're saying. You're saying if you don't make a decision here, aren't you kind of, in a sense, complicit and allowing everything to continue on? Well, I think the distinction I would make, first and foremost, is that as a follower of Jesus, I'm not interested in trying to create a governmental system on this earth. Jesus said that he has a kingdom and that his kingdom has already come. And I'm trying to act like I'm a member and a civilian and a citizen of that kingdom. And that's going to cause me to look very differently at all the earthly perspectives that we're talking about. I definitely don't want the destruction of either side, their children, their people. I don't want that. And here's a tangible, just to give you a straight up answer. If you look at the genocide that happened in Africa to the Tutsi, if you're familiar with this, the way that they solved the issue, they had actually a minister who they called the Minister of Reconciliation and Peace, and he was a Christian. And this is obviously a very different governmental system. You couldn't have that here. But here's what they had. They created camps where people who had committed the genocide and that had also been perpetrated against, that under Christ they could live together. And there's a very powerful video of a man who lives in the same house as the man who killed his mother. And if you ask them, how could that happen? How could you ever do that? They go, look, Jesus died for me when I was a sinner. I was an enemy to God. Therefore, I forgive this man for what he's done. And this man says, I've committed genocide, I've committed evil. I've come to reckon that this is a person that I was killing before God. And therefore I don't want to contribute to their evil. It can be done. It's been doable. So I think the heavenly solution is a lot better than all the earthly ones. I think if we come under Jesus and his kingdom, there's actually a lot better opportunity for everybody, personally. And it's been done.
I agree, but for example, if you believe that, what are you going to do if someone points a gun at you and is about to shoot you?
Sure. I mean,
would you?
It can happen. It happens to a lot of people. Like right now, 7,000 Christians were just beheaded in Nigeria by Muslims. And if you were to ask them the same question, will you renounce your faith, or will you allow yourself to be beheaded or take the Shahada? Then they would say the same thing I'm about to tell you right now. I'm not from this world. My home is not from this world. If they kill me, they kill me. All they can do is kill me. That's it. That's all they can do to me. I'm with my Lord. He resurrected from the dead. I don't worry about that. He's taking care of my life, my eternity. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. We have an unspoken agreement. Well, not unspoken. It's a spoken agreement. In our marriage, if someone puts a gun at her, this is a real conversation we had, or our kids, neither of us are going to renounce our faith in Jesus. The reason why is because we put our faith in Jesus above everything else. He's the real solution. He's not only a solution when I like it, when it's convenient. He's the solution. So I have to sign on all the way.
It's interesting. It's an interesting way of thinking. Okay.
Hopefully this has been helpful. What's your name?
Yeah, Ulises.
What is it?
Ulises.
Ulises?
Yeah.
Like Ulysses almost?
Yeah.
Okay, Ulises. Awesome. Nice to meet you. And Samir?
Yes, Samir.
Yeah, hopefully we could talk again. I mean, we're always around. You probably have seen our whiteboard. We're around all the time. So
That was interesting, yeah.
yeah.
We'll talk more about it. Great talking to you, though.
Appreciate it. Thank you again.
Nice and simple.
Thank you for stopping and talking and giving us some chance to delve into stuff. I appreciate it.
Of course. You guys take care.
Yeah, same to
See
you.
you, cousin.